right, man. So I just got out the shower. Had to get myself together. I'm gonna need about an hour. But hey, man, this is probably a video y'all ain't expect to see from me. So you got Benavidez and Oscar De La Hoya criticizing for Canelo for choosing Christian Mbilli, which honestly I think has danger in this fight, depending on how much Canelo got left. Mbilli seems to have one of those engines that, seem to be durable, high engine. De La Hoya said some things we're going to get into with Benavidez. I haven't read it. I just read the title, right? So, Baby Benavidez questions Canelo choosing Christian Mbilli. He said, nobody wants to see this shit. I'm not trying to be a dick, but no one wants to see that, said Benavidez on Instagram when asked about Canelo facing Christian Mbilli Riasi September 12th. I think he would have been better if he fought Diego Pacheco. No, this is a better fight. No doubt about it. I like Diego Pacheco, but there's still some kinks to work out in that armor right there. But he's, I think, I think this is a good fight. Mbilli throws a lot of punches. He's a good fighter, good conditioning, wild, but he got good conditioning. He can take a punch. Okay. My thing is this. When these guys become critical of fighters that, may be adversaries or they may have something against, and you see that going around a lot with like Devin Haney and Terrence Crawford, all of a sudden logic starts to kick in. When they have issues with these fighters, and now he got an issue with Canelo because Canelo didn't give him an opportunity. Now logic, nobody wants to see this. How many fights have we seen of David Benavidez that nobody wanted to see on pay? Nobody asked to see. Nobody asked for that brother to fight Gilberto Ramirez, and it was showed in the reflection of the ticket sales in the pay-per-view. And I'm about to get to Oscar De La Hoya. Benavidez has been in a bunch of fights nobody asked to see, but only when they got a issue, a quorum with a particular fighter, only when, he should be giving me an opportunity. Well, guess what? We could say the same thing about you giving, Bevel or better yet, better BF an opportunity. That's what you should be doing. You can't be, ducking better BF and then be turning around talking about, hey man, Canelo should be giving. No. You can't call nobody a duck if your duck slate ain't clean. If you got a bunch of ducats in your back pocket, you can't call people a duck. I don't be trying to hear this, and I'm gonna dig a little bit deeper on this when I get to the De La Hoya part. I don't be trying to hear, nobody want me. Y'all give us fights that nobody want to see all the time. But it only becomes vocal when it's a fight that y'all don't like. When it's a fighter that you don't like, or a fighter that's on that coincidental list in my notation boxing voice. So all of a sudden now nobody wanted to see your last fight, David Benavidez. With all due disrespect, nobody wanted to see that bullshit. So all of a sudden now it was, nobody wants to see. No. If Canelo didn't duck you, if y'all wasn't in the same universe, he was a 130 pounder, you was a 175 pounder, you would be quiet, or you'd be saying, yeah, it's a solid fight, even if you hadn't seen Mbilli fight. And this is the crazy thing about boxing. I'm telling y'all, man, the opinion, the raw, honest opinions only come when they don't like a particular fighter. I'm trying to tell y'all that. The honest opinion is when it's a black fighter, right? A Cuban fighter, a fighter that people don't like. And if I hate on him or be honest about him or point out some inconsistencies or some issues with him that, the fans going to get behind me, or if he ducking me, or I feel like he robbed me of an opportunity, that's when I'm going to speak out. That's just what the game is. They full of shit. You know how many times these Hispanics turn a blind eye to the fuck shit that other Hispanics do? And that don't just stop at Hispanics. How many of these black fight fans that turn a blind eye to Tank Davis being on some fuck shit? They won't even acknowledge it. But when it come to Devin Haney, when they come to Shakur Stevenson, when they come to Terrence Crawford, all of a sudden it's like, only when these dudes have a quorum issue, or it felt like somebody owe you something, is when, they want to start saying these things. Now, De La Hoya, haven't read this neither, says that Canelo Alvarez and Mbilli isn't a fight the fans want to see. And how many fights have he gave us that nobody wanted to see? Let's keep it at a being. How many? All right, Benavidez, nobody want to see this fight. Do your Mexican Independence Day on the same day as this day, and then we can keep it moving. But De La Hoya questions both matchups and the location for the fight. Well, okay, we already knew, we already knew this is in his contract. He'd be fighting in Riyadh. So you the same dude that just needed the same turkey money to back Ryan Garcia fight that was a triple flop with Mario Barrios. Mbilli, come on, man. I just don't like the fight, especially if it's not going to be here in the U.S. Again, we have to watch a fight at 9 a.m. I'm just not a fan of that, said promoter. Okay, at the end of the day, we watch. I don't watch a bunch of your bullshit card, but you put on a whole bunch of fuck nigga cards. Let's keep it real. You put on a whole bunch of that Latino cards. You put on trash, and you put that shit on. I don't know if it was in Riyadh. I can't say that. But come on, man. The Ryan Garcia Barrios fight, trash. Virgil Ortiz, Thomas Delorme, trash. Virgil Ortiz versus the other guy, trash. You don't put nothing on but trash. I ain't seen the Golden Boy fight that I feel like I needed to catch to keep it a bean. I would love to see the fight here in Vegas in September with all his fans cheering him on. That's where the fight fans were. At the end of the day, I ain't trying to hear that. These is a lot of the same fighters that's talking about jumping ship and going abroad and going to the UK to get $1, going to Japan to get $1. You don't give a fuck about the fans. Miss me with that. I would love to see the fans. Man, shut up. If you would love to see the fans, it wouldn't be no need for Turkey because Oscar De La Hoya, Al Heyman, Frank Warren, Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn all would have worked together every now and again, once or twice, maybe 3 or 4 times a year to make the biggest and the best fights. And Terrence Crawford exposed y'all when he was going through with Al Heyman. He said all these old geezers know each other. All these fuck niggas know each other. They cool. They just play like, I'm paraphrasing, it's a war. It's a war going on outside. No one's safe from. In my camera voice. Come on. Y'all, they act like it's war, but no, they don't want to work together. They don't want to make these fights. They can work together, but they don't want to make these fights. They milk boxing. They milk the fans. Don't sit here and start talking about, the fans. But no, take the touch for the fans. In my job, y'all don't care nothing about the fans. Y'all don't care nothing about the fans, so miss me with that. Because if you cared about the fans, Oscar, y'all would have made the best available, the best fights happen. And if Turkey wasn't around, if Turkey wouldn't need to be around, if y'all would have made the best. So don't start talking about how you care about the fans and how you care about the fans and all that, man. Miss me with that. You don't care shit about the fans. You just playing a card that you sit over there. You got your rocks off with Turkey, and now that he disposable, and all of a sudden you want to say, "Oh man, y'all don't fuck." Nah, fuck nigga, keep it moving. Every fighter has a peak, and then you start to see the exit coming. Canelo a few fights away from retirement, so I don't blame him for taking the money and running. Okay, then why make the original comment? Why make the original if you don't have an issue? This is just so disingenuous. How much Oscar De La Hoya is a fuck boy. But I do feel that has a few good fights left. Him gets him a great fight. Mbilli is better than probably everybody on fucking Golden Boy, not named Virgil Ortiz. Mbilli is not a bad fighter. He just gave you, and I can't believe I'm making the case for Canelo fighting Mbilli, But Mbilli just gave you the Fight of the Year candidate with Lester Martinez. What are we talking about? That was a really, really good fight. I feel like they should be doing it again and not that showcase. Hey, they need to fight again before Canelo fight him. I'd agree with that. But that was one of the best fights I seen last year. I think it was on Crawford Canelo undercard. So, like I said before, they only got an issue with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he working with Turkey and they got an issue with Turkey. Benavidez issue with Turkey is that he didn't deliver the Canelo fight. Move the fuck on, dude. You just fought that cruiserweight. You know what I'm saying? Move on. Yeah, he should have fought you to solidify his undisputed, but you shouldn't have been playing with your nose to lose your belt to begin with. Okay, we can move on from there. And Turkey can't make that man fight, but he put money in your pocket, more money than you made in your last fuck fight. Let's keep it a bean. He paid you, and then you ran back off to PBC because he didn't give you Canelo. Okay, take your peanuts with PBC, dude. And I see somebody go, yeah, they don't fuck with Benavidez because he ain't he with Al Heyman got shit to do with Al Heyman don't exist no more. All this shit. Earl on Twitter talking about Al, we locked. Man, nigga ain't locked in. If he did, he'd pay Derrick James his fucking money, allegedly. That nigga's gone, bro. He ran off. On the fighters twice. He ain't coming back. To the whole Al shit they putting the facade on, get out of here. Nigga, Benavidez don't sell because he don't fight at popular weight classes. 168 was a European, historically a European weight class. It's not original. 175, it ain't nothing but foreigners there. Even if you fought B1 Bennett, better be Evans, stopped him in 5 seconds. He's not going to be a superstar. Back in the day, they used to pass the torch. Back in the day, NBC used to be the platform to create superstars. CBS used to be a platform to create superstars. HBO at some point was a platform to create super. That ain't there no more. So you don't have the passion of the torch. You don't have the television networks that have the built-in audience to make you a superstar. Everything going behind the paywall. That's the issue. He don't have the opponents, and he don't have the platforms to boost him up. He fighting behind the paywall. Ain't got shit to do with him being with Al Heyman. And he a mulatto, so they don't claim him like that. But hey, hit the link in the description. Follow me on X, Facebook, Kick, Twitch, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Hit the link in the description and say find me everywhere. Peace.